It's the plant-based afternoon show. We got all four of us here for the first time in probably 2 months. And it should be good. We got a good show. We got some Oatly news that I somehow missed from a month ago. Good/terrible news. I mean, good to see. It just makes me hate the company more and more. We got that. We also have this workout that I've been teasing now for a full day, full 24 hours. The 12-3-30 workout. I mean, just all those numbers. It's just tantalizing. Gotta know what that is.
Terrible name. Terrible
How's
name.
everybody doing?
Great. Doing great. I'm excited about this 12-3-30. I got my I'm wearing my Murph Challenge shirt today because that was this week, which is I thought the 12-3-30 was going to be something like that. It is not. But I won't share.
Yeah. The Murph
Let's just
Challenge
go shit there. What is a 12-3-30? I can't handle the anticipation.
No, we can't go straight there. That's the story. That's the big
build it
story.
up.
This isn't sufficient build-up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going to be here for like 15 minutes, so it's a 15-3-5 day for me. So.
Well, I mean, you're on the right track.
I want to hear about the Murph Challenge, Isabel. What's going on with the Murph Challenge?
So for those who aren't familiar, it's a fundraiser, but it's a challenge based off of a workout that Lieutenant Michael Murphy used to do, and it's a foundation for that is under his name, and the challenge raises funds for that. But it's CrossFit-esque, and it's big in the CrossFit community, which I am not a part of, but my daughter's name is Murphy after Michael Murphy, so we do it every year. It's a mile run and then 100 pull-ups. Doug, you'll love that. 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then a mile run to cap it off. And you're supposed to do it all in a 20-pound vest.
Wow.
So how long does that take? Do you have to take breaks?
So I only did it in an 8-pound vest, and previous years I've either had a child recently or have been pregnant. So this is my first time in probably 5 years, I think, doing it in a vest. I wanted to do the full thing, but I thought 8 pounds was still pretty good.
Yeah.
It took me longer this year than prior years because I had the vest on, but it takes about an hour. It depends on how fast you run and how fast you can do push-ups. I mean, it depends on how fast you can do everything, but
how fast you can do all the exercises.
All the things.
That'd be 20 pull-ups? Is that what you said, 20?
100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and I break it out in 10, 20, 30, and I do 10 reps.
Yeah.
How long does it take you again?
It took me 60 minutes and 9 seconds. I was so peeved when I saw that 9 seconds.
Yeah. That would take Doug 100 lifetimes to do because he can't do a pull-up. He's been one lifetime to train to do one pull-up.
No, I can do one. 5. It's 5, Matt. It's 5.
Oh, it's 5. Okay. So 20 lifetimes. Okay.
Close. It's good fun. It's really tough. And then you're sore for a long time after. But, unless you're properly trained. I obviously was not properly trained, but because I'm training for running. So the runs I did great. He got stopped on one of his runs to talk to the neighbors. Classic. So it took him, I think, 65 minutes, but he probably would have been in the 50, 55 minute range, which is pretty good. But so you can look at I haven't looked at the results, but some people do it in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, which means you're running 5-minute miles, 7-minute miles.
Yeah. That's
that guy who I played miniature golf with, Isabel, and I said he's doing his marathon Murph thing. Would that have been the same day? Is all the Murph stuff done on the same day everywhere?
There's lots of unofficial ones, so it really depends. But it's on Memorial Day every year, so a lot of people do it on Memorial Day, or do varieties of it.
Because he played in this kids' parent futsal tournament I did yesterday, and he scored all the goals. So I would be humiliated if he had just done that marathon Murph thing and then did all that.
We'll say he didn't then.
Yeah.
How bad did your kids beat up on you yesterday, Matt?
Well, it turned out not to be kids versus grown-ups. It was each grown-up is on their own kid's team, and then there's a tournament of 6 different teams, and each team had 2 grown-ups and 2 kids. It was okay. I mean, I'm exhausted after a few minutes of playing. I don't know how the kids do it to play for 2 or 3 hours. It's crazy. So I went in goal after that. I just didn't move a lot.
You went in goal. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Anyone got anything else? I guess we should say hello to people who are here. Danielle P, Bianca Phillips, who's joining us, finishing up a 5-mile run. I guess she's listening from that run. Britter's attendance has been a little spotty at the morning shows this week, but she's here. Borland P99 just followed us on Twitch, which is good. Garuda's here. Garuda always likes Isabel, gives Isabel a special shout out. Like to see that. And Britter says she did the Murph in the CrossFit days, and it's a tough one. By the way, Doug, I think Kelly K is the person who we were talking about yesterday, whose name we couldn't recall, and she commented on YouTube and said, Doug looks like he's been hitting the gym. So although I may poke fun, Doug, you're getting shouted out by the ladies.
Yeah. You can't see right now because I got my baggy sweatshirt on, but yeah,
Messing
looking ripped.
Good. All right, Matt Tolman, how you been? It's been too long since you've been on one of these things. Well, it hasn't.
It has. I was just thinking because you were talking about not being able to keep up with like the 11, 12-year-olds. I lost in a tennis match to a 61-year-old this week, which
tennis
I don't
or
get into the
pickleball?
details. It's tennis.
Really?
And he legit beat me. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, I'm,
like
I'm
61
licking my
is still
wounds.
borderline, if they're like a very skilled tennis player, like
Right.
Yeah.
61,
Like a Rip
He
Esselstyn
just-
of tennis. It's going to beat anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Rip's not quite 60 though, is he?
No,
I think
but I'm
he's-
guessing.
he's No,
We're just trying to make you feel good.
No, he just had an aggravating game where he, I think plays every day and is just incredibly consistent. And I've played like maybe 5 times in 10 years, so I was incredibly inconsistent. So he just kept every ball in play, and just had, it was brutal, absolutely brutal. So,
Old golfers are like that. They can beat you just by not hitting it a mile out of
Consistency.
bounds. Yeah.
yeah. There's a life lesson there for all of us related to like, slow and steady wins the race type thing.
Well,
like
that's a nice
just keep
prelude to the 12-3-30 workout. We're going to be talking about that exact thing. I mean, it really is very similar. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I don't know what this is. I missed the pre-read. Someone
Get
introduce
excited.
Yeah, I'm actually a little confused now myself as to what it is.
I can explain
Okay,
it. It's
good.
very simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till
that's
after
what I
the
thought, but
water
it's
report.
really slow. Okay.
What are we waiting for?
All right. Here's what the 12-3-30 does. I'll just tell you that much before you go, Matt. I can't wait.
If you spoil it, that's the
Too
whole
exciting.
story. There's nothing more to it.
I think people will just leave.
Go
The
ahead.
weather report's good though. There's some good Oatly news in there.
Okay, all right, go for
Wait,
it.
did you guys see that? Oatly had an advertisement that said like "Votely." I think it was in the UK. It was like
We talked
all,
about it.
is that what we're talking about?
No, we talked about it
No,
earlier
that's
this week.
Wednesday's news.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Well, I was just impressed because I saw it and it said "Votely," and I was like, "Oh, Oatly!" Like, and that
I thought you just
that
said
pun.
for me as a business guy, it was like I don't know what it said, but I was like, "It's Oatly."
VOAT.
It didn't say Oatly, right? And I was like, "Wow, that is the power of great branding." Like the font, the colors. You don't have to say the brand's name, but I knew who was saying it. I was impressed.
But I mean, their ads, the other power of them is that they have completely turned me off of the company. And I don't
Let's
buy the
say
products out of protest
Frazier
for how
hates
terrible the ads are. And I hate them with a passion. I guess one of the good sides of that is like if you're still getting attention on your ads. So then when you write like a normal ad, like vote, people understand what it is and who said it because they've spent all this time hating your other stuff.
Why do you hate them?
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's just
How much time you got?
yeah.
Is it because it's peasant water? Is it the Dave Asprey
No,
thing?
no,
Is that-
no. I mean, the products are
You're
fine.
against oats?
Just-
You're against oats.
It just the
Heard
most
it here.
cringy stuff. It makes you feel like weird inside seeing these ads. Doug, like what are some terrible ones? The guy sitting in the field and saying something. Oh, the whole website they made that's like their greatest misses, and it's them saying about the time they got sued for this and the time that they accidentally donated all this money to a big, not accidentally donated money to an animal farm to feed pigs. And they just list them as if they're somehow proud of these things. It's just like what are you doing with this? And we got another one today. Now they sponsor entire minor league baseball teams, and they call them the Oat Milkers. And in between innings, they have throw out the first oat jug instead of the first ball. I mean, they're ruining like the world. They're what's wrong with the world.
I think the Oat Milkers is awesome.
I do too.
What a great baseball team name. What more could
Also,
you
it's
want?
not this one team; it's every team. Every team takes a chance to be the oat milkers.
Oh,
Matt, so they have a
confused.
website called FCK Oatly, and it talks about all their misses, and then they have a FCK Oatly, which talks about how much people who hate the FCK Oatly.
Which I went to and filled out the form because I hated it.
Yeah.
And they sponsored that Thanksgiving hotline you could call
Mm-hmm.
that they set up. Meanwhile, their share price is like tanking 90%, and they're setting up these hotlines for people to call and like.
What's the
they'll tell you
Thanksgiving
stupid
hotline?
Thanksgiving jokes. If you like need support as a vegan on Thanksgiving, you can call their hotline, and they'll like tell you jokes or something stupid.
I'm gonna call this hotline today. Why not?
I just can't believe that they think this stuff is like funny. I just don't understand. I really hate them.
I think we need to move on, or else Frazier's just gonna keep
I'm
hating.
looking at this and all these scandals. I like that they're pointing out all this.
Really? There's like no resolution. They just list all these bad things, and then there's like, all right. And then it's like, if you don't like this website, go to FCK.com.
Okay, let's talk about the baseball
Wait,
real
wait.
quick. Now that we're
Hold
on
on.
early.
Hold on, before you get to the baseball, let me just emphasize why this is brilliant marketing. We have just spent 3.5 minutes talking about Oatly, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
There's
we've
no
spent
such thing
hours
as bad,
talking
In a very negative way,
There's no
though.
but there's no such thing as bad press. There's no such thing as bad press because you know
It's
what?
true.
Someone listening to this, Garuda's going to go to the supermarket and see Oatly and be like, Matt Frazier hates them. Yeah, I'll give him a
You
try.
don't
How
think like
about
all the press about the plant-based meats being terrible for you is bad? Like the
Okay.
complete shitstorm that has been in the media.
Perhaps you're right. I mean, maybe that is the exception that breaks the rule in terms of no such thing as bad press. When if your product is being maligned as a carcinogen, I can see how that could reflect poorly on your brand and maybe damage your throughput. But yeah, I mean, this though, like poking fun at yourself, putting up a website to poke fun at yourself, getting us to talk about it. Because again, I mean, I don't feel as strongly as you do, and I might now buy Oatly just to mess with you.
Just to hold it up.
Well,
whenever you
I'm
see it.
organizing a boycott.
gonna-
If you go to FCKOatly.com, you can find my boycott page where we're going to see how many people we can get to never, ever buy another Oatly product. All
So,
right.
okay.
I do have good Oatly news today. Like I said, I like their products. But
Yeah, tell us more about the minor league team because I got a lot to say about minor league baseball.
All right.
You want to skip to that? Okay. All right. Let's jump into the weather report. That's part of the weather report, so we'll just jump in. I'll start playing the music, and we'll start with that one. I know it's not. I made that a whole article.
I know. We're all over the place today.
I'm not prepared to talk about that. I don't have it. Well, I do have it open. All right, here it is. What Oatly did in Sweden, where they're from. They're from Malmo, Sweden. If I don't know how to pronounce that. Minor League Baseball, MILB, which I didn't know they had minor league baseball in Sweden. I'm surprised by that at all. But the Malmo Oat Milkers is the league's 121st team. It's pink jerseys, oat milk. Well, Veg News calls it oat milk. But Veg News is just like Oatly apologists. They just love these Oatly ads and things. They just they love to highlight this stuff. Anyway, they've got the these brand activations. They always do that stuff during minor league games. In this case, they mentioned the first pitch being thrown out with an Oatly jug, an oat milk carton. And then they mentioned the opportunities for fans to sign a contract to be an oat milker for a day, which that's not so wacky. That kind of stuff happens all the time. I mean, I don't know. Like that's kind of it. It's just another annoying thing that they're doing to put their brand in front of people. Yeah.
I don't understand why it's so annoying though, because I mean, minor league baseball is full of terrible names, right? I mean, like the Asheville Tourists, right? It's a terrible name. There's so many better things to do than that. And
Bashful Tourists,
the Asheville Tour,
Asheville,
and the mascot is a moon. He's not even like anything related to tourists. Or I looked up some bad names here. We got the Montgomery Biscuits, the
kind of fun.
The Yard Goats, the Hartford Yard Goats.
Wow.
Ludwig. Oh, the Space Cowboys from Sugarland, Space Cowboys. I mean,
Nice.
like minor league baseball is a joke, and all the like games and stuff that they do is just pure entertainment. The baseball's terrible, but they gotta have it so that people can move up the ranks. So I got nothing wrong with a little bit of oat milkers. I think it's fun.
Milkers.
You're calling minor league baseball a joke, Doug? Aren't there a lot of people in your town who are probably career, minor leaguers looking to try to make it, play for the tourists? Maybe.
I mean, I
That's their
love
dream?
minor league baseball. I love
But
minor
it's a
league
joke.
baseball.
But it is a joke. Just
Well, it is so much more for entertainment purposes than MLB.
Okay, fair enough. I'm trying to find this thing about that every game is a home game. Every MLB game is a home game somehow, because every team takes a turn being the oat milkers. So I guess.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I don't know.
What?
Like
We're all
it's more that Oatly travels around with this shit show of theirs and these jerseys and puts it on the team at that city, one day each year. So they go to all the 121 teams and everyone has to be the Oatly milkers and wear the pink uniform or whatever. For the,
So
for the
that means the Asheville tourists will be the Asheville oat milkers at some point in time?
No, because I think it's
Because I think Doug should go to that game.
okay. So it is. So they are doing it in the United
Yep.
States, but the team is the Malmo Oat Milk. Okay, I get it. I was confused. I thought that Sweden had minor league baseball. I was like, that just seems so weird. So yeah, the Asheville Tourists, if they are in the MILB, they're single A baseball, right, Doug?
Yeah, they're single A.
Oh
There's
God, I would never ever go to this game and support this
multiple
garbage.
minor league baseballs? Minor leagues?
I don't know. We're probably spending too long on the intricacies of minor league baseball. Anyway,
Taberlin 99 says
I was just about to say
says
that.
that their minor league
Yeah.
team mascot is the Ozympig. That's
that's pretty good.
I hope that's Ozempic. Like,
See, that makes you chuckle. It's funny. I like that.
it's hilarious.
Is that funny? See, we have completely different tastes. Like I look at that, I'm like, that is the downfall of America because Ozempic has so much money that they're able to like buy, the local. We lost Doug. He's been on Ozempic recently. That's why he got called out for the. He doesn't want any bad mouthing. But like the amount of money these pharmaceutical companies have, and the fact that like they can just buy the amount of advertising space, whether it's at a major league or minor league or TV or whatever, and I think like just like alcohol and cigarettes, pharmaceutical drugs should not be advertised. We're the only country, like us in New Zealand, that pharmaceuticals are allowed to advertise direct to consumer. I think it's really bad.
Maybe it wasn't an advertisement. Maybe it wasn't Ozempic who did it, but it was someone who doesn't like it, and they're saying Ozempic.
Yeah,
It's
it
jab.
is. I just did a quick look, and it is meant. I don't know if it's meant to be, but it is definitely a negative pun, and it is Ozempic. It's still the mascot name too.
What?
call
How
it the-
negative? Again? Yeah, no. There's no such thing as bad PR.
No, there is. We thought of one.
Just the one.
Oh, yeah, that too.
All right. Bitters hasn't mentioned the Savannah Bananas, which I know is one of her favorite minor league baseball teams. They travel around the
Savannah
country doing funny stuff. Ellery, my daughter, just said the other day that she wanted to go to a Savannah Bananas game next time they're in town. So I'll say, no, we're not doing that. We're going to go to the Oat Milkers instead.
There you go.
All right, moving on from Oatly. Although, like I said, there's still Oatly good news that is to come. Something that I actually kind of like from them. But on to the next thing here. Let's get back to the actual weather report. Short, hitting quick stories. We don't spend too long on them. Number one, Hellman's is rebranded. Hellman's vegan mayonnaise that they've made. We've talked about it a lot. They've rebranded to plant-based from vegan, which is kind of interesting. We keep seeing studies and things that are like one direction or the other. It's not clear to me that plant-based or vegan is better at reaching the mass market or having a product be successful, because different people seem to like both, and not just, well, anyway, enough about that. But their reasoning, they want to be more inclusive to flexitarians, and that's a theme in the past 2-3 weeks. We've seen a lot of things saying they're targeting their stuff towards flexitarians. The fake meat companies have been doing that for a long time, but we've seen it just from other companies that are just trying to be more inclusive now, aiming at flexitarians, which kind of backs my thesis that I think the flexitarian movement is the one that is about to pop off. Once we can actually define what it means, once somebody says, here's what it means to be flexitarian, here's what the diet is, that diet's going to be the big one. Anyone want to fight me on that?
Not me.
By the way, while you're thinking about that, I checked the Hellmann's mayonnaise in the fridge that we have that I bought like 2 weeks ago, and it's plant-based. It says plant-based on it. It doesn't say vegan. So they announced today that they're rebranding to this plant-based thing, but
They've already
been doing it for a while. Yeah,
I think that's becoming kind of a more. I mean, maybe it's just because of the site that, or the vision. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, that we are able to see. But I think more companies are moving towards the plant-based versus vegan because it doesn't have the like ethical component as much to it.
right.
I think that's becoming polarizing.
Doug, do you remember what is the positive stuff for why people are choosing vegan over plant-based? Some of these brands that we've talked about a couple times in the morning show. I can't remember what the reason was. I know vegans like the word vegan. They say it's less confusing.
It's just people know what it is. It's more clear.
Right.
Yeah. Less ambiguous as plant-based.
But don't we like the ambiguous?
Plant-based.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think for reaching the masses, it's probably better. But there was
Sometimes I do.
Yeah, there was some reason why the pushback was there against using plant-based. Anyway, moving on. Here's
when
the
you're
only
buying a product, if you don't really know what's in it,
that's not great.
I think if you get people to take advantage of the word plant-based and they say like, this is a plant-based hot dog, and it's like, it's got meat in it, some of those Franken meats are a thing. I think actually the law says that as long as you have at least 3% meat, you can call it like meat, like animal meat, which there are some cultivated meat businesses that are now considering that as a pathway into getting people to eat their product and therefore have higher fiber, lower cholesterol, lower saturated fat products. So end up helping them, but actually it has a very, very small amount of meat in it, maybe as little as 3%, which is questionable, because I think that law caused a lot of consumer backlash because what people were doing in the past had nothing to do with plant-based, had everything to do with using fillers. So you could put a bunch of crap ingredients into a quote meat product and sell it and really inflate your margins because actually it wasn't that much meat in there because you had all this God knows what, I don't know, styrofoam or something. But as long as you had met that threshold. So I'm not like I say, an expert in that, but I had a conversation about it and I found it really interesting to, what is the ideal? Like you want consumers to know what they're eating. Obviously transparency is highly valued these days, but if you can get people to eat more fiber, less saturated fat, less cholesterol, do the ends justify the means? I'm not sure about that.
I thought you were going to this. In Singapore, they started selling, I think it was Good Meat. It started selling a plant-based thing that has 3% cultivated meat in it. So that will add apparently some flavor, some realness to the plant-based patties or whatever it is. But I don't know if that 3% rule applies over there. It seems that anything goes over there. So I'm doubting that one. That one does.
Yeah. So I tried. Anyway, go ahead.
You tried cultivated meat?
That's what I was.
I don't know if I'm allowed. I don't know what I can say, but I've tried some of the Good Meat products. I won't. I'm not a cultivated meat fan. I don't want to eat meat, it's not for me. But they do have some other very compelling plant-based vegan products, I should say. Which, by the way, is cultivated meat vegan? No, right?
No, not vegan. I don't think you can call it vegan.
Technically not.
But I'm all for
No,
it.
there are.
Animal.
Right, but I think it's because it uses blood as the growing medium, if I'm not mistaken. But there
It's true
are
now. I think that's mostly been removed. Like I think there was too much pushback against that. So now they have the animal-free serum that they grow it in.
exactly, but not in the U.S. The animal-free serum is not legal in the U.S. if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can cultivate. Again, I'm totally out of my depths
Gross.
here, but you can cultivate meat in the U.S. and it might even be legal for sale, but not using the quote unquote vegan serum version.
Gotcha.
But
Maybe
Florida
they could, I
just
don't know.
banned
Like
it
it's
outright.
still hard for me to call that vegan just because you're eating
It's
an
meat.
animal meat. Yeah. Which I
Yeah.
think it'll be interesting because how vegans will divide when that is readily available. Because I will go to that cultivated meat side for sure, even if it means I'm no longer called a vegan. Because as long as the cruelty's not being done, I'm good with it. But
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about that off the record because I'd like to hear how that went, whether or not you did try it. Because I'm definitely intrigued.
I did not try the meat product. I won't even do that.
Okay.
It just grosses me out. Not I mean, I don't want to disparage all the amazing entrepreneurial endeavors that are trying to reduce the broader harm to living sentient beings. And if we can do that for the meat eater, awesome. Very supportive of that. I just don't want to eat meat for my own, purposes.
All right. On to the next. The Oatly news I've been promising you. Aaron just sent me this. He saw it on Instagram.
I'm sorry, we're back on Oatly?
Back to
Back on
Oatly.
Oatly.
Jesus.
This is a big one though. Starbucks I'm reading this off my phone. It's that fresh that this news came. It's not even on a website. It's just you had to get it from Instagram. You have to have your wife send it to you from Instagram. That's what I did. Starbucks is adding Oatly whipped cream to make the first ever plant-based Frappuccino that they serve in Starbucks. You can add the Oatly whipped cream to any beverage, add or substitute free of charge, no upcharge for the plant-based whipped cream. That's kind of crazy because I would think this would cost premium compared to regular whipped cream, more so than the milk would. But in this case, no upcharge. They're going to make the cinnamon crumble oat milk Frappuccino. That'll be their first official non-dairy Frappuccino. I guess you probably still couldn't turn a regular Frappuccino into this because it probably has other stuff in the mix. But you get the non-dairy whipped cream, cinnamon crumble topping, and it's their first new Frappuccino in a decade, the first new permanent one.
Wow.
And that's probably the gist of it. I think it's not out yet, but it's expected to be out this summer. They're saying look for the new menu to drop June 25th. Save the employees. It's not an official date, but that's what they're saying. Who's excited?
And that's
you
nationwide, or is that just in select?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See what the fine print says on Instagram.
I don't know, but that's all the information I have from Veg News' story.
But you seem gleeful. I thought this was going to be some terrible thing for Oatly because
No, I love Oatly products.
I'm
good. I'm actually haven't started their boycott or anything like that yet. I hate their ads, but I'm happy with the products. I will definitely give this a taste. I'm a fan of Starbucks. Doug, I know, is not, but I like going to Starbucks when possible, and I would definitely try this one.
I will go exclusively to try this. Like when this releases, yeah, because I'm not a big. I can make my own coffee. I'm not a big paying $19 for a drink, but I will go try this one because that's exciting. And the whipped cream, like there's no plant-based whipped creams like anywhere. I think maybe somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but other than in the store, I don't know of any place.
Oh yeah, you can get them. Like you can go to Trader Joe's. They have one.
Well, yeah, at a store, but like at a place that like makes some food for you.
Oh,
like,
you're right. I don't think you don't really see those very much, do you?
Mm-mm. So it's exciting.
Definitely. Will you go there and tell them that you're there because they brought in a non-upcharge vegan milk?
I will. I will go to the Conifer Starbucks and put on my I'm a mountain person. And come and say, I'm here for the vegan one.
Doug, will you pay a visit to the Black Mountain Starbucks and say, I'm here to support this thing? Support what you as an organization are doing for vegans? No.
Not even for this.
I'll wait till I go into ACO.
Even though they pay taxes in this town, he as a local politician does not like this one business.
That's right.
Why are you against Starbucks?
Because I support my local coffee shops.
Do they have oat milk with whipped cream?
Yeah, good question.
No, they don't. They have plenty of oat
tell
milk, but yeah, that's right. Maybe I can convince them.
Go to the store, buy a thing of whipped cream, and take it to the coffee shop with you.
So, Doug, this is going to be fun. Are you also against like Amazon? Like you'll only buy hardware from a local hardware store, no Home Depot? Like
I mean, I do support my local hardware store as much as possible. Sure, and I use Amazon, of course, but I can't get everything in Black Mountain. I can get coffee that is roasted here in Black Mountain from coffee shops that are here in Black Mountain.
But you know they buy their beans from Guatemala.
Well, so does Starbucks. I mean, of course, they don't grow their coffee beans here.
I'm
but-
just saying, where do you draw the line? I don't know. I had a friend who would not use Amazon because they were putting out all the local stores, and then they bought Whole Foods. They stopped buying at Whole Foods, and it's like, I totally understand it, right? Like we need the flourishing of, as they say in venture, it's like, letting 1,000 flowers bloom and seeing which one, like we want small business and innovation. Certainly, big conglomerates like that sometimes are a bad idea. But at the other hand, it's always funny and educating.
I mean, part of it. All right. So Black Mountain is a small town, right? 9,000 people, small town. We have 3 great coffee shops, local.
No,
great
not
coffee
great.
shops.
I've been to them. They're not that great. They're not. I mean, I don't think any of them are good.
Not great.
All of them are better. There's no way you think that they're worse than Starbucks.
I think Dynamite is worse than Starbucks. They had no internet for a long time, and they were proud of that. Sorry, that's not a good
You
coffee
should
shop.
be proud of that. I think that's great.
I've been to a coffee shop like that, and I almost vomited. But go ahead, Doug.
I love that, Doug.
I
I'm with you.
disagree.
Wouldn't
I
we have no
disagree. I think you
internet?
got the wrong coffee. The day maker. I think you got the wrong coffee at Dynamite. But anyway, Black Mountain has 3 great coffee shops, and then Starbucks comes in, and and then everybody goes to Starbucks, and I just I'd rather support my local coffee shop. That's all. There's nothing to it. But part of it also is that I don't like Starbucks coffee. Like it is burnt and it's gross, and I do not like the Starbucks experience. So I have a better experience at my local coffee shops, and that's where I'm going.
For the record, I'm with you, Doug. I prefer local coffee shops too. Most of the time, the espresso is better.
Well, okay.
By the way, I agreed too, but I just always like to ask why, see, we get into conversations
Stir the
about
pot.
socialism and Speaking of stirring the pot, we're going to talk about Trump's conviction or?
No, I don't want
Come
that
on.
one today.
Or
in the weather report.
move right on past that.
I left that one out. I did have a little political thing about people's preferences, whether they'd be willing to try lab-grown meat and animal meat, and there was a large difference in Republicans how many of those would be willing to try the lab-grown meat. Much lower, obviously. But we're not gonna have time to get into that. We're gonna have to go right to the main, the 12-3-30 workout. If we want to get it in before the show's over, and I think we do. So
Let's do
we're gonna
it.
skip my McDonald's.
At this
price
point, I
increase?
don't even care. I mean,
Yeah, you do. You want to know?
Yeah,
I've
but
given
I've
up.
been hyping this for a day now, and I don't usually do that.
Yeah, you're
All right,
like
let's-
Oatly over there, all hype.
Right. All right, let's jump over to the 12:33 or the 12-3-30 workout, which I hate to kind of admit this, but it's going to be a letdown for people. I've been hyping it, not really a good reason. It just had a hypey kind of name.
Don't say that.
I thought I
I'm
might start
Googling
doing
it.
workout.
All right, fuck it. I'm
All right,
Googling
what
it.
is
I'm not
it?
doing this. What is it?
Okay, it's from FitTalk. If you're on TikTok, which I guess is FitTalk, if you go to like the fitness sections or whatever, a viral treadmill exercise. It's the 12-3-30. You ready to hear what that stands for? 12% incline. Doug, is that a pretty high incline? That's a decent incline. Does every
Yeah.
treadmill even do that?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
very
high.
They make
significant.
12 is probably
That's
as high as it
significant.
goes. 12 or 15.
That's very significant.
Okay, so 12% incline, 3 miles per hour. So that's a 20-minute mile. So that's a hike pace, I think. You're not really
Yeah,
running at that.
it's a walk.
Like a walk. That's a nice
It's
walk.
a brisk walk. It's a brisk walk.
But up at 12% incline, can you keep up by just walking? Or would you have to start jogging a little bit?
No, you can walk.
Okay. And 30 indicates 30 minutes. So that's it. 12% incline,
This is just
20
hiking up a mountain.
20-minute miles, and you do it for 30 minutes. It's gone viral, though. It's a viral treadmill workout. Lauren Giraldo, social media influencer,
Why?
she created it at least 5 years ago. She's lost 30 pounds. That's 6 pounds per year doing this thing without changing her diet.
How often?
She doesn't say. Well, they don't say. The article does not tell us that. I assumed it was a
This is every
mostly
day.
I assumed
It's
it's
3 days
mostly
a
everyday
week?
thing. It's like your daily cardio thing. Maybe 3 times a week, but I don't know. I don't have that information. Oh, I found it.
Oh.
Someone suggests aiming for 3 to 5 sessions of this treadmill exercise each week. to maximize its effects.
I'm gonna try this on my local hill. I'm just gonna see if I can do a 20.
Knuckle Hill.
I'm leaving. This is an incredible letdown.
It's kind of let
There's,
down.
there's no
You know what I did the other
science
day?
on it. There's nothing like. There's no
Who needs science when you got fit
There's
top?
some science in there.
like NASA.
What's the
NASA
science?
did this for the astronauts, and like it guarantees this and your metabolic that, and vasodilation. Nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing.
We can
This
say
woman
those
lost
things.
some weight because obviously she was consistent and she
For a
exercised.
5-year period, she lost 30 pounds. So it's 6 pounds a year.
Like-
30 pounds is good, but it's just not it's nothing to get that excited about. But
Yeah.
maybe it allowed her to
Like,
be.
There's some
I need
science.
30
There's some
pounds in 6 weeks to get excited. That's the stuff where I'm like, oh wow, like they did
Right.
something crazy.
Doug, hit us
They're
with some
wrapping
science.
they're wrapping trash bags around them to sweat it out daily. Like that's the stuff that gets the headlines for me.
Hey, I
This-
love this
this is
workout,
called-
and let me tell you why. It's
like-
approachable. It's approachable. Anyone can do it who has access to a treadmill, and no matter how
mountain.
fit or unfit you are, you could get started with it. Maybe you don't make it all 30 minutes, but you get started. I think it's a great workout. The science behind it is that an increase of caloric expenditure is about 52% per 5% incline. So, and it doubles to 113% at a 10% incline.
Uh-huh.
So you're burning
Wow.
way more
More than twice as much.
calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to work harder
good.
to go uphill. Yeah.
People in the comments are saying, go hike outdoors. Why are you on the treadmill for this? The problem is you have to
Amen.
come back down the hill or get someone to drop you off at the
Then
bottom.
you just run down the hill. That's the fun part.
Yeah, that's,
Then you go
you're
super
not burning
fast.
it, but it's not
You know what I did the
112%
other day for
calorie
the first
burn.
time?
That's true. Oh, Doug,
I
what?
did the stair climber for the first time.
Oh yeah.
For the first time, you made it 40
My internet is
years
so messed up
without
right
doing the. You made it 40 years without ever doing the stair machine.
Yeah. Why would I ever do that? I have mountains.
How was
But
the stair machine?
I
What
did
do you
it.
think?
Was
and
that
it
was that
was
it?
amazing.
I don't think that was a technical glitch. Was that really the pause that you had to like we're all like you're checking your memory to see if you've ever done it before?
Well,
No, I'm having a
I
lot of
think-
technical glitches right
I
now.
think I've done the stair machine. I've done an
Getting those.
elliptical. I actually
This
injured my
is-
foot really badly on an elliptical machine once.
All right, should we
But
talk
I,
about
man,
Trump?
I did it
just so
for
we
I did
can-
it for 25 minutes, and I was dripping sweat.
Stair climbers are hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard.
All right, Matt, does the
Sometimes-
Trump news somehow relate to plant-based or fitness or something? If it does, then yeah, let's talk about it. Well, I don't actually know what happened. I heard he was guilty. That's all I know.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Can you can run for a president as a convicted felon? Is that what he is now?
I thought you couldn't, right?
But
I'm
I didn't see
fairly
any
certain
article
you
saying
can.
now he can't run.
Yeah, you can.
I think you can.
No, you definitely can.
I think this helps his
Yeah.
chances of winning. Honestly, I would imagine this makes people much more passionate. And
Yeah, I think so too. I also think that
We
if there was any restrictions, the Supreme Court would throw it out and just say the people should have their choice, which is probably right. You know,
You can
whether
also,
the-
because he's convicted in New York, he can also. Ah, man, the internet is so messed up right now. I don't even know who's talking.
we got you. I
I'm
hear
sorry.
you.
Can we go back to the
Because he's
12:30
convicted in New York,
workout? No?
you can vote. Both. Oh my God.
Doug's
give
using
up.
his local
give up.
small business internet
out.
provider instead
Okay.
of the big giant. You wanted to support a local. Dynamite Coffee's in the internet business and they're using their internet. Oh, they got it.
All right, I think we did good. We put in our time. We
Yeah,
made it.
I think we're
Barely.
done. Hey, fitness has
wanted
got
to
to go.
go-
Trump
I
can't
don't
run at
know.
all, not being morbidly obese. That's actually a pretty funny little joke there. Regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on. It's pretty good. You can't run, right? He's obese. He even wrote it
That's
twice.
funny.
He once he changed the wording a little bit.
Fitness, nice work. I like that. All right. Conrad was
All right.
enjoying our conversation, so good. All right,
Yeah,
I'm going to start a website, fck123030workout.com. I'll see you guys there. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks.